This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
I get hyped up
Loco Sports fans.
Intro.
Yeah, I saw you bobbing along that time. It usually gets me going too. The grind definitely gets me going. That one gets me pumped up. But this is the Loco Sports Lowdown. I'm Justin Jarrett. He's Wes Kerr. We're always here with you just about every night, telling you what's going on in the Loco sports scene. And tonight is no different. We had several teams, 4 teams, in fact, in the Skeeza semifinals for basketball tonight. Also had a lacrosse game on the slate, but pretty light slate. It's been that time of year where we can kind of breathe for a couple of weeks and really dig in and focus on the big games at hand and just kind of what's going on, getting a feel for what's going on with the spring sports. And it's always a good time for me, just kind of catch our breath and start to recoup some energy. I'm definitely worn down after this season. It's been a long haul. Ready to kind of shift gears here.
At the end of region play, that first week of February, where unfortunately I was away, where we had a whole bunch of games happen at once, and it kind of slows down once you get by the first round of the playoffs, and you get to focus on, as you said, the big playoff games, the teams that are left, and it's really fun, to zone in. I mean, every game's such an exciting one at this point of the year for basketball, and we got wrestling still. And then you got the dawn of some of these spring sports, and we got a fun one to talk about on the lacrosse field. Teasing that one.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, you can tease that one. Crazy lacrosse game tonight, Loco on Loco. But we'll start with basketball because it is playoff time, and we've got 3 more teams tonight. 3 out of the 4 punched their ticket to the state championship games. We're going to have a Loco on Loco final in Skeeza 3A girls, which we thought was a distinct possibility all season. And then once we saw the brackets, we thought, there's a pretty good shot we see that. We're going to get it. HHCA beats Palmetto Christian 64-39. Maya Hutchinson had 24. Devin Yard had 19. They're just so tough to guard. I mean, it's just not many kids can stay in front of them at that level. And then JP2 beats Orangeburg Prep 46-41. JP2 was in the lead throughout that game. Kind of had to hold on at the end, but they controlled it throughout.
That's really nice.
I mean, that's a huge step for them. This was the first time they made the semis, and now they're going to the championship game for the first time. So terrific work from Karen Floyd and that team this season, and they get one more shot at Hilton Head Christian.
I mean, you got nothing to lose at this point. All the pressure's on Hilton Head Christian to get that 6th straight. So at this point, you're playing with all the house money if you're JP2. And then this was the target when this is the one year you wanted to have. That's a really good Orangeburg. I think I picked Orangeburg record, and just looking through the resume and the schedule, I thought they were going to be the team to face Hilton Head Christian County, but man, JP2. Brady Mahoney in that group, what a job that they've done. And they certainly had some spots where they looked shaky, but they've really turned it back on in the playoffs. And, man, just a tremendous performance up and down, that roster to get it done and move on to the finale on Saturday. So, for the second straight year, we get no Lowco championship game. Of course, last year was on the boys' side. This year it will be on the girls' side. And certainly you think Hilton Christian Academy is the clear favorite, But as you said, JP2 with really nothing to lose at this point. You've gotten past all the expectations you have, and now you want to get out there and have fun and see if you can find ways to shorten the game and make it interesting for a Hilton Head Christian Academy team. You kind of know that you've played them a while, so you kind of have some pointers on them. And I want to say it's not going to be easy, or it's going to be easy. For JP2 to find ways to stay in it, because Hilton Head Christian Academy, they are just on that next echelon when it comes to how they're playing as a team, and it's going to be quite a tough task for a JP2 team that they're going to have to find something really deep within those players in the roster, and Mahoney's going to have a big game, and we'll get a little bit more into that later, but that's a huge, biggest, in that history of that program. I mean, first ever appearance in the state championship game, and they're just, winning their first appearance in the semifinals. So huge congratulations to Karen Floyd, Brady Mahoney, and that JP2 girls team. What a season that they've had.
This just in too, Mahoney went over 1,000 tonight as well.
How about that?
Terrific night for her. Terrific night.
One to remember for Brady.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Going over 1,000 in the state semis, punching your ticket to state. That's a pretty cool deal. No, it's been a really good run for them this year. I think we've talked about it throughout the season, but they challenged themselves a little bit more early in the season this year. Lessons learned from the past, and trying to get yourself out there and put yourself, stress test yourself a little bit more early so that you're better prepared to compete with a team like Hilton Head Christian. And the last time out at Hilton Head Christian, they played them tough. They lost by 14, but they stayed in that game. So they like you said, they've seen it enough at this point that they know what it would look like if they were going to pull off the upset, and you go out there and you try to execute the game plan and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean,
It's tough to beat the team 3
losses.
times.
Oh,
So
absolutely. We talked
never
about
know.
on the guys' side because it looked like we're going to see Christian prep again. That wasn't to be, but I mean, 69-50, certainly. I mean, Hilton Christian and JP2. Golden Warriors found a way to kind of hang around, and same thing that you said for that second game. I mean, 49-35. Obviously, double-digit wins for Hilton and Christian, but if JP2 can find ways to get a couple more stops and knock down some shots on the other end, and find ways to continue what you did well, and you've got film on them. You've played them twice before. You kind of know what to expect. Although for Hilton Christian Academy, I mean, there's just so many ways that they can beat you. It's just really hard to go out there and consistently do it and find a way to score more points than that because they've got all the pieces and just leadership. I mean, last game for Maya Hutchinson, Devin Yard, capping off extraordinary high school careers. It's just going to be really difficult to find a way to take them down. But JP2, I think if there's any team around here that has the chance of knocking them off, it's this Golden Warrior squad. I think this is, the final that we have deserved. I think it's two best teams that have shown themselves in Skis 3A, and just shout out to this region, this 3-team region. Hilton Christian got to beat both of them to win the championship. So 3 times they've have seen each of them. But the competition level, I know the game between Prep and Christian Academy got away, but still really great rebound season for Hilton Prep. Like expectations, were shattered in a couple of ways with Courtney Campbell, the way the team grew around her, and then this JP2 team. I mean, everything coming together around Brady Mahoney and Gracie Henderson's been a nice year. If she can get hot, it could be interesting. Make the game even more exciting potentially because Henderson has that knack in there to knock down some shots. So they've got some nice little pieces there that if they can put them all together, and Hilton Christian Academy is not ready, we could see something, an exciting one. And we wish you could have had it at home because it's 2 local teams playing in the state title game. But as you said, it appears it will be in Sumter at 5:00 on Saturday afternoon, early evening. So make the trip over there if you're able to. We're going to be at USCB for their final game, home game of the regular season against Flagler. But we got a Lowco doubleheader. We got girls JP2 and Hilton Christian Academy, and let's segue into the other team that will be playing on that Saturday night. Hilton Head Prep. They take care of business against Oak Brook Prep, 49-32. Jason Britchie with a really efficient night, 8 of 9 from the field, leading the way with 16 points. Bailey Barron, lights out 3-point shooting. He goes 5 from 8 beyond the arc for 15 total. And then Ben Fry doing a little bit of everything, stuffing that stat sheet as he has done all year. So, this is what we expected from Hilton Head Prep. This has been their calling call year round, and they're just executing in the most efficient ways right now. And man, it's just seamless what they've been doing. And I expected them to be tested by Oak Brook Prep, but give a lot of credit to the way they stepped up defensively, and then when they got their looks, they knocked them down. So, if obviously Oak Brook Prep, it wasn't a terrible performance from them. They gave Prep a challenge, but Dolphins just hit their shots tonight.
Yeah, really. I mean, they're just so efficient on offense. They never settle for bad shots. They're so patient. They'll run it, and that's why everybody shoots as well as they do, because they never take a bad one. It's always a good look at the basket, and then on defense they make you work so hard, and to get something good. And then they get to the fourth quarter and they're up by 8, and you have no chance. There's just no chance of making up the ground because they're just so sound. I think they'll get a test. Christian Academy Myrtle Beach is pretty solid.
That's going to be a great championship game.
And they handle Greenwood pretty easily tonight by like 13.
That could be a game for sure. That could be a ball game.
Yeah, I think they're pretty athletic and, can get out and run a little bit and maybe be able to stay out of Prep's half-court stranglehold. And so it'll be interesting. I think if Prep can control the pace and play the game they want to play, then they'll be fine. Christian Academy will have to kind of try to get out and push it outside of that comfort zone. But they're so tough to beat. I mean, they're just so fundamentally sound. They're so patient. They're so unselfish and team first. And it's fun to watch. It's just really good fundamental basketball. It's precise.
It's beautiful. It's,
it is.
It all comes together like that. And, when I was at Davidson, we talked about Bob McKillop, who ran his motion offense, about the beautiful game. And there were, I think I mentioned it just 4, but there are 10 categories. If you have X amount of field goal percentage and you take care of the basketball, you have a certain level of few turnovers, and there's all these factors that go into the beautiful game. And you always challenge his team to hit all of them, and it's very rare that they did at all because there's so many different levels that go into executing on both sides. You want to go into the half, like winning the last few minutes, I think was one, or winning the last few minutes or winning the first few minutes of the second half. So there's so many components to what constitutes a beautiful game. And I think Prep has a lot of them, if not all of them, locked down if we got the stat sheet. So, they just play to that level of consistency and just make it look really easy. And it's not easy, but all the pieces are just flowing in really perfect harmony. And that's what you need this time of year. And it's just really fun and pretty to watch when it's going well.
Yep. And the other one that made the bid for the state finals tonight was the Patrick Henry girls. They lost 45-22 to Cathedral. So terrific run for them as well. Coming up a little short, losing in the semis, but really great season out there for the guys and the girls, and looking forward to a great spring season out there too. Looking to get out on the farm, see some baseball.
Yeah.
Should be good times.
Yeah, I was able to watch some of that Patrick Henry game, and they just weren't able to knock enough shots down. Just looked a little hesitant. In Cathedral Academy, really confident the way they were able to, take it to the hoop and score at will at some. It was a defensive game early. Patrick Henry was right in it, and then they just went cold and just couldn't buy a basket. And the frustration gets to you. It snowballs in a hurry. Cathedral was able to knock down some threes and gain some separation. But it's unfortunate to see them like that. It kind of went south quickly for them as we got into the second half of that ball game. But excellent season for that PHA squad on both the boys and the girls side. And now we get into the excitement of spring sports over there, especially that baseball team, which is trying to run it back, get that repeat after that dramatic comeback to force that third game, and then they finish the job. But man, I'm really excited for spring sports, especially that Patrick Henry team. I'll have soccer teams to keep an eye on. We'll be kicking off Lowco FC very soon. We're looking for some sponsors on that front, so definitely hit us up if you have leads or ideas for that, because it's been really fun to co-host that with Misael Garzon, May River soccer coach, and one of the highlights of the year always. So looking forward to get that running hopefully shortly. But man, 3-1 tonight on the basketball court, not bad at all. Then we got a state championship tomorrow with cross girls, trying to bring one home in Skiza 1A. So, you wish there were more of these games around here in the Loco. Most of all the Skiza games are, at those neutral sites, Wilson Hall, Sumter Civic Center. That's the nature of how they do things over there. But I will say that Facebook. I was able to check out that Facebook group today, and great job by those people around the state helping us out, and just giving score updates and some live video feeds. I was able to watch that Patrick Henry girls game today. There are two feeds, and it was all labeled which teams are going to play on which time. So that's really nice in this age of technology. That's something essential that you want to have this time of year, because it's hard for parents and fans and anybody else to always make the trek over there when you're all having these neutral site games. So certainly the real MVPs of this Giza tournament, and the men and women who have been able to give us these feeds and help us, who weren't able to make it to watch some of this action. So I just wanted to say thanks to everyone over there for being a part of that and making it happen.
Amen. Yeah, I agree with you completely there. It's a cool thing when I like that. I love the camaraderie of it all. The everybody's looking for information and scores, and everybody's chipping in. People on the ground are letting us know what's going on. Shout out to Rip Ripley, who I don't know Rip, but he's been running live feeds from both gyms at Wilson Hall the last couple of nights, and it's much appreciated to those of us who are interested but can't be there. So you got a comment on your epic commentary. Epic. Not sure which part of your commentary was epic, but it's all epic. The MVP sponsors of Lowco Sports, Megan Jarrett's the official realtor of Lowco Sports, and my wife. She's with the Anchor Home Group of Keller Williams of the Low Country, and she would love to help you find your place in the Lowco and put down an anchor in the best place. So call on Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Lowco Sports, when it's time to buy a home here in the Lowco. And we will also call on Homegrown Home Inspections, MVP sponsor and the official home inspector of Lowco Sports. Jan Lucas and his team are the best in the biz when it comes to making sure you're making a great investment, or if you're building a new home, their phase inspections are the way to go to make sure you get a quality built home from top to bottom. Homegrown Home Inspections. Mickelson Law Firm is the official real estate closing attorney of Lowco Sports and our original sponsors since 2017. Ryan and Tiffany have been supporting our team, and we hope that you will call on them for all your legal needs at Mickelson Law Firm. Hospice Care of the Low Country is the official hospice care of Lowco Sports and the only not-for-profit hospice care in southern Beaufort County. They've got tickets on sale for the Yacht Hop coming up May 18th in Wexford. So it is the party of the year. Great times. You're definitely going to want to get your hands on some tickets or become a sponsor. So hit them up, because at Hospice Care of the Low Country, it's not about dying. It's about living, and we're definitely going to be living it up at the Yacht Hop this year. So those are the MVP sponsors. Wes, you teased it earlier. We had a lacrosse matchup on tap today. Lowco on Lowco. Bluffton against Beaufort boys. Bluffton was down 6, rallied back, got it to overtime, and won it in OT 17-16. So sounds like that was a heck of a game over in Beaufort. I was thinking about getting over to that one, but had another prior engagement this evening, and couldn't do it. But, man, it sounds like it was a Donnybrook.
Barnburner over there to start the cross season. Still looking for statistics on that one, if anyone has them.
Yeah, no stats posted yet. I haven't seen, but I'm sure we'll get them up. But Bluffton's off to a good start. They're 2-0. They beat Islands 15-9 the other night, so it's a solid start for them. They've been a little down, May River kind of got the lacrosse team in the divorce, so to speak. Like the lacrosse talent kind of mostly centered over there, and they kind of been rebuilding. But Nick Batista, who played at Hilton Head High back in the day and went on, was I believe a college All-American somewhere, is coaching Bluffton, and he's a local guy with some knowledge for the game and a good had a good career. So sounds like he's got him, on the right track. And I love what's going on at the youth level with lacrosse right now, with the Lowco Rush coming in and starting to build some foundational developmental program, for the younger kids, and then travel program for the older kids. I love what we're seeing as far as grassroots with that sport and starting to build it from the ground up.
Yeah, it's really started to come together in so many different areas. Just looking at the history of lacrosse here, Hilton Head was a powerhouse at one time, but now you're starting to see some other schools like Bluffton, May River's had a nice run these last few years, and it's been fun to see just the growth and all these teams delivering excellent rivalry matchups, and Beaufort put up a strong fight. Unfortunately, unable to hold on, but still excellent performance from the Eagles. So yeah, I'm getting pumped to go out there myself and see some lacrosse. It's a really fun sport, really underrated. both the guys and the girls. The fast-paced nature, a lot like basketball, but very different technicalities as well than what we see on the court. But yeah, I mean, it's a skill-based game, but you have to have that built-in athleticism. There's just a lot of fun factors about what makes lacrosse exciting, especially the guys' game. It's really fast.
Well, here's what's exciting to me is the guy who's leading this Low Country Rush program is this dude, Kieran McCardle, who just won the Golden Stick Award for scoring the most points in the Premier Lacrosse League playoff tournament. His team, the Philadelphia Water Dogs, lost in the championship series, so he's bummed about that. That's why he said it doesn't matter much to him. But it's pretty incredible to think that we literally have, the top scoring professional lacrosse player in the world, more or less, leading a new program for kids here in the Low Country is pretty amazing.
The PL is the name of the league.
The PLL. I think that's the main one.
The premier cross league in the globe, I believe. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
awesome to see that.
Very cool.
But speaking of local lacrosse, excited over to the Nest on the 29th, coming up next Thursday, a week from today. Bluffton boys at Hilton Head, which should be a really fun one if any indication from what we're seeing over here, because that's a Hilton Head team that's gotten off to a they are 1-1 so far. They beat AC4, then they lost 11-10 to a pretty strong Richmond Hill squad. So solid for Hilton Head. That's another squad that has been inching to get close and go deep in the 4A bracket. But this is Brady Saba's.
I didn't have that one on my schedule.
Yeah, Brady Saba's. It says max preps 229. That'll be a week from today.
Yeah, so I didn't have that one on my schedule, but there you go.
Didn't include.
So we have two lacrosse scores.
Maybe you forgot the leap year. Actually.
Yeah. No, I meant the one tonight, the Richmond Hill.
That
game.
one.
I didn't have that one on my schedule. Missed that one. But nice.
Yeah. It's always been
the leap year messes up my birthday this year. My birthday is supposed to be the day after February 28th, but it's not this year. Messes me up.
Yeah. But speaking of Hilton Head, Myrtle Beach, they'll get them on the 2nd, 29th against Bluffton. So they've certainly had a tough schedule these first few games as they prepare themselves for what's to come, but a little different in they don't have the same regions compared to other sports in lacrosse. You have like a lower state portion, and it's sometimes you combine classification and such. So
they combine them all. It's only 5A and 4A down. That's all there is in lacrosse. So it's a little different. Baseball tomorrow is being determined per Bracken Lambert. Oh, we're waiting on weather.
Potential weather tomorrow, so we'll have to keep our eyes on that.
Yeah,
weekend series with Shepherd. It should be a 3-gamer. So.
Yep. And that time of year, we get to go outside, but then we have to deal with the weather and the sand gnats. So it's a mixed bag. But no, May River guys, lacrosse starts tomorrow night. They've got Greenville at home, I believe. That's what I have on my schedule. I think that team's going to be pretty strong again. Obviously, Brooks Van Esselston was a huge loss. I think this is a home game. Yeah, they're at home tomorrow night, 7:00 against Greenville. So that should be a good one.
That's an enormous loss, just for the culture and the leadership, and then of course play on the field that he's showing off so well. So tough to not have him there because he's an excellent student. That kid was awesome. One of the best interviews we've had too. He was on point.
Yeah.
We gotta have him back on maybe at the end of the school year sometime this summer to see how he's doing.
Yeah. Well, I know he's his season got started, and I know that I saw the family was down there recently. I also saw this was great to see. Jim Raymond and his wife made it out to Tuscaloosa and caught a game and got dinner with Nick Pringle. That was really cool to see.
It was a nice run.
Love to see that.
What I've heard over there, college basketball circles.
Yeah,
they're looking.
I haven't been able to
again this year. 98-93 overtime win over Florida in the most recent action on yesterday. So that's a pretty nice win over a ranked team for the Crimson Tide of Alabama. So Kentucky at Rupp Arena on Saturday. So should be a good one over there.
Van Esselstyn and the Panthers of Florida Tech are off to an 0-3 start, but let's see what he's got. He's got 2 goals in 3 games. So a couple ground balls. He's getting some playing time, being productive. Good to see.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, just freshman year, and you already find ways to contribute and make the most out of your time on the field and put some balls in the back of the net. So excellent start. That kid, we knew he was going to be driven from the moment he arrived on campus. That's who he is, and there's no surprise about that. He's going to be.
And he was a National Merit Scholarship winner last year.
Right, he won it. He went all the way and won it.
Yeah. Thinking of that reminded me that we have one this year. Michael Sands, wrestler from May River, made the finals. He made the finals. So, and I think Ava Gershutz, who runs track and swims for cross country and swims for Bluffton, I believe I saw she was a finalist as well. There may be others, but those are the ones that have come across my radar so far. But let's shout out some more sponsors. The varsity sponsors of Lowco Sports: DDS Web Design, building, hosting, and maintaining websites for businesses and nonprofits that get results. So if you need to get your website found online so that you can do more and think bigger, call on DDS at ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group is out there handling legal needs across Colleton, Jasper, and Hampton counties, and they'd love to help you out. They're also helping us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes. Dr. Ambrose Cole is the official chiropractor of Lowco Sports. He's over at Rooted Living Wellness, and he will get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. And Reverence Wrestling Club, the official wrestling sponsor of Lowco Sports and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. We'll have a new episode Sunday night telling you about all the state qualifiers and how they fare from the Lowco up at the state championships. Question from a listener: does May River have women's wrestling yet? Yeah, they had a number of girls compete this year. One of them won the lower state championship and will be competing at the state championship this weekend. Vivian Uriola. She's terrific. They had quite a few girls, though. It's starting to catch on everywhere. It's great to see. And we'll have a bunch of qualifiers heading that way. 24 guys, 7 girls going up this weekend. We've run through them all a couple of times this week, but brackets are out. There's not a whole lot to talk about until they start wrestling, and we'll recap it all at the end, get lots of guests in to tell us about all the action up at the state championships. We'll be on Sunday night at 10 to talk wrestling on the Lowco Grind presented by Reverence Wrestling Club. But Wes, what else you want to hit on before we call tonight? Kind of a slow night. So we
got USC basketball that happened last night. We talked a little bit of that on Wednesday, but what a win for that women's team. Now winners of their last 3 straight, looking really good. And that squad has grown up significantly. We've talked a lot about, but Sharon Versip, there's a reason why she has, achieved the success that she has at the Division I coaching level. She's done a great job, seeing who she has and adjusting and making her team better as a whole. And everybody's started to really grow up. And the crazy thing is this team isn't even at full strength from what we could see in the years to come. So no matter what happens the rest of the way, what a success. That's a huge win, sweeping Aiken 56-55. Heartbreaker for the guys. I thought Price, was going to force OT with that tremendous shot in the dying seconds, and then Tyler Johnson comes back and calls bank. He banks one. Just what can you do? What can you do? That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that was unreal. Here's Bartle with a nice little mid-range. She's got that going now.
Yeah,
she's found that, and it's good to see.
Yeah,
they can still get in there. They've got to win 2 out of their last 3.
Flagler's huge because that's one of the teams they're chasing. So Saturday's going to be the defining game, in my opinion. They can beat Flagler.
It's huge. Yeah.
Yep. So
yeah, and it'll be tough to pull off one of the last 2, but it's it's doable.
Starts with the one at home. You got to defend home court. That's the big one.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But they've been that almost went down at the
Tense
end.
moments right there.
It was scary. It was scary at the end. And then the guys, what a finish here. I mean, gosh, dang it. It was so exciting because Kev comes down, hits the three to tie it up.
Oh, what a
I
shot.
mean, this was
Oh,
not
man.
a great look either. He didn't get a great
Right
look, but he had
in
to
his face,
to
and
go for
frames
it,
the
and he
three.
nails it.
Man,
But
I
then
just wish that
Shades of Ties had knee.
heartbreak.
Oh no. He did such a good job of getting himself lined up top of the key, so
Oh, they
he
went
could,
into the tunnel.
I
The
know,
classic Sully.
so that he could just take a run at it and
Yeah.
just put it online and hope that the glass worked for him.
That's well designed. That's some good IQ there.
Super well designed. Yeah.
Yep. Great
He's
play
so quick too.
Yeah.
Johnson's so quick. He's lightning quick.
Yeah.
And he had kind of a tough night, so that was a big shot for him. But tough break there. Sand Sharks have baseball hopefully at home tomorrow.
That, we didn't get to talk on what happened Tuesday because that was a
Right.
really nice win against Middle Georgia State. I was impressed. That was my first time out to the ballpark, and Carson Phillips delivers the game-winning knock, a triple right down the right field line, a line drive, back and forth ball game. But really, my takeaway is how they're able to get some quality production from their pitching staff, specifically Tyler Howard, who surrounded just 3 hits in 5 innings. So he went 5 deep. He
5 scoreless, right?
And and then Ian Barnes picks up his 4th save of the year. They're really fighting something with him. Aiden Cooper gets the W with a strong performance in the 8th to help set it up for that USCB go-ahead run in the bottom half. And Carson Phillips 3 for 5.
Phillips with the triple.
That was a tremendous piece of hitting there to the right. So we got the highlights. Very nice.
Yeah. Phillips with the triple.
Excellent
Took
stuff.
Down the right field line. Love it. Nice piece.
Yeah, great. That's a big win because they're coming off a couple of L's in a row. I mean, that's a pretty strong St. Leo team they played. They almost took the second one. They got walked off in the 9th in that last game, and then the third one was canceled because of weather. And now we'll keep an eye on the systems coming in tomorrow. But so far, it is we have not, as Brackett said, we have not made a decision on what's going to happen with baseball.
Touch and go.
On social media, on Twitter, and we will let you know what happens with that as the day progresses.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how bad it looks tomorrow. Not great. Chance starts in early in the morning and carries on.
The
1
worry
p.m.
is just
we're looking at 75% chance of storms.
It's just the one thing about baseball is you got to make sure the field's not wet beforehand. If it's already been raining, it complicates things. So we'll see what happens.
So we'll be touch and go tomorrow. Supposed to play at 6 p.m. So we'll keep you posted on that on social media. I'm sure USCB will be blasting it out. Also, as you mentioned, cross against Curtis Baptist for the 1A Girls Championship in Skeeza, 4 p.m. at Sumter Civic Center. Greenville against May River Boys Lacrosse tomorrow night. Misa and his boys are playing up at the Charleston Soccer Showcase preseason tournament. Got a couple of scrimmages, and we got hopefully USCB baseball. And then this weekend, 2 more state championship games with HHCA JP2 girls, the Hilton Head Prep boys taking on Myrtle Beach Christian Academy. And then we'll also have Hampton County boys against Oceanside, 8 p.m. up at the Florence Center. Sand Shark basketball in the Cove, 1:30 and 3:30 against Flagler. Baseball, softball at North Georgia for USCB. We got some lacrosse games going on, more soccer, some high school baseball coming in this weekend. So it's our time to breathe is almost over, is what I'm saying. Yes, it's almost time to crank it back up again.
Yes, as Taylor Swift once said, "Are you ready for it?" Because
are you ready for it? you ready for
you're
it?
the Swiftie because you're the Swiftie because of the Chiefs. You
I have a
gotta
10-year-old daughter, and I'm a Chiefs fan. So,
you gotta
in
embrace.
fact, I was complimented heartily by my 10U softball team last night for my Chiefs sweatshirt, and it took me a while to figure out why they were all like, "I love your sweatshirt. I love your sweatshirt." And then I remembered that they're 10-year-old girls and love Taylor Swift.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure that's what had happened there. I had to remind them I've been a Chiefs fan since before Taylor was born. So,
Yeah, there you
but
so you have that.
I said, I know you became a Chiefs fan because of Taylor Swift, but have you ever heard of Elvis Gerbach?
Speaking of
But
which,
yeah,
just really heartbreaking to hear of what happened at the parade. Just hope that
yeah,
that's a really unfortunate situation. And
terrifying. My
yeah,
nephew was there. My nephew was there. They drove up from Southeast Kansas, a couple hours up to Kansas City. Big Chiefs fans, and he was, right there, close to the stage. Like, they didn't. He didn't hear the shots because there was loud music and a lot going on. But they saw people reacting, and then they saw the first responders. They were walking to the car when the first responders started racing in. So, just a horrible thing, and it's just, it's just another place that we have to think about
it's
that.
it's supposed to be a day of celebration, and the
Yeah,
last thing that you'd expect is for something like that to happen. So it's just, especially for the young kids, like that's a scarring
yeah,
moment that you wish never happened. So,
yeah,
I've heard the Chiefs have some of the players have reached out to those who've been affected, and we definitely give our condolences to the family of the woman who unfortunately passed away as a result of that. So, just as a Chiefs
yeah,
fan, definitely it has hit home for you, and we just hope that we learn from this because it's been
yeah,
happening at different places way too often, and it's something that has to be remedied. So,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll never understand it. I won't. But you know, it is. It's the thing that apparently we just have to deal with in this country. I mean, it's happened in our
yeah,
schools, it's happened in our malls, it's happened in our movie theaters, it's happened at our victory parades, and so I don't know. I don't know if or when or what we can do about it, but what we're doing is not working. I mean, that much is clear. Um, but we don't need to. You don't need to if you need to take a gun to a victory parade, like, you need to make other changes in your life. That's
yeah.
that's
I
what
mean,
we're
you
getting
have
at
to
here.
have
Like,
a sense of just is this a decision that is right, and
right?
it just we need to take it to the highest level of government here in this
Yeah,
country. Just think about it. Think about how important this is, and just the ramifications of everything. And I don't want to get too much into the weeds of it, but it's just
yeah,
as someone who is overseeing all this, it's terrifying. It's gone on way too
yeah.
long. So,
Well, and
um,
we've seen it hit close to home. I mean, we saw DJ Fields
yep,
killed by gun
yep,
violence, and two other young men we covered, Kylan Simmons and EJ Graham, were in the car and were injured.
it's
And
crazy. It's
um,
almost 3 years to the day of that.
it's
It was right after Hilton had played that state championship
right.
basketball game, and
Yep.
still hits home. Just
Yeah, it
terrible.
wa- it was horrible, and it still haunts us every day. And we gotta walk through metal detectors to get into basketball games, and like, it's just crazy. It's crazy, and I'll never understand it. But again, if you're to a point in your life where you feel like you need to carry a gun around with you, like, I would urge you to reevaluate the way you're living your life, and see if there's an alternative, another way, because it doesn't end well for anybody. That's all it is.
Yeah,
I mean, think of the basketball players at Alabama last year, and
yeah,
the
yeah.
turmoil that caused. And it's just, nothing good happens. Nothing good happens, especially when young people are messing with guns. So I hope that's what kids take away from it, is that they want to live in a safer world than the
Yeah.
one they live in right now,
And I think,
and
as
they
I've
just want to leave
mentioned
that alone.
before, is we have a lot of young people who have taken that to heart and have done some great things spreading awareness. And I think there are as many as there are men and women who in this generation have done the wrong thing. There are a lot more who have done the right thing and have spoken up for it. And just the leadership that I've seen amongst, these high school students, the college students around here. I think there are, some great minds at work who, understand the situation that we're heading to here and are going to do whatever it takes to alter and change things. And, just it was a really tough situation. And was really thankful that we had somebody like John Hopt who did a great job,
Yeah.
explaining when we talked to him after a couple of days after it happened, just to, the community in time of need, you need someone to really be that voice of reason and calm everybody down and just make sure that everything's going to be all right. We're going to learn from it and, highlight the strengths and how this community will respond. And that guy was just, the perfect individual that we needed in that situation.
Yeah.
Guiding lights for that football team. And, we came out on the other end certainly disappointed and just saddened and heartbroken from it. But, we come out of it inspired to really love one another and care for one another. And that's kind of the message that he evoked there. And, great to see him continuing to inspire kids now at Hilton Head Christian Academy. Just won that state championship with the Eagles last year, and just a great leader, example, setter for that program. And they're lucky to have somebody like that. So we have a lot of good people in the Lowco who are inspiring and help these kids stay on the right track. And that's what you need. We need those guys to really set the bar.
I think losing DJ took a tremendous toll on Hop, and it took him a while to kind of get back to himself. And it's good to see him happy again, because I think he was really going through it for a while there. And I think the change of scenery and being at Hilton Head Christian has buoyed him, and he's grieved and mourned and poured himself into the kids like he always does. And it's good to see him. He looks like himself again, and it's good to see. He's a good dude. Well, the Lowco Booster Club helps make all this possible. You can become a Lowco Booster Club member for just $50 a month or $500 a year. The Court Lifestyle Pros join the club. They are Low Country natives, Daniel and Debbie Court. They're on Hilton Head Island, and they want to bring you home with Charter One Realty. Revive, rehab, women's health, and pelvic floor physical therapy. Check out their Instagram. Dr. Allie and Dr. Jen share some great women's health tips on there, some workouts that you can do. And it's a great place to grab a gift certificate for any friends who are having a baby shower or baby sprinkle coming up. Eagle Creations has great promotional items and custom apparel, as well as custom gift baskets. Go see their showroom on Argent Boulevard to see what all they can do for you. Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Great place for spicy conversation. Yes. Get that beard trimmed up. Maybe grab some tacos or seafood while you're down there. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. Chris Odom will get your floors so clean your feet will thank you no matter what surface. And Prime IV Hydration and Wellness now open in Belfair Town Village. Go see Max and the team and get juiced up. That's the Lowco Booster Club. What do we got tonight? We got teams of the week, yeah?
Athletes of the week. It's Thursday.
Athletes of the week. What do you got?
Yeah, I had choices tonight. From the college sports down to the high school sports. I'll go with the winners over there in Aiken, and I'm going to go with Michaela Primo as my girls pick, and she was electric. Three-pointers she knocked down and powered that offense to getting the job done. And certainly she's had some off nights at recent points, but when she's been on, she has been everything for what they're trying to do out there. And sometimes her passing doesn't get to where she wants it to be, but she's able to hit some shots and provide that spark when she's so lightning quick and just does her thing out there. And when she knocks down that jumper and is racking up those layups and just playing confident basketball, that's huge for what they're up to out there. And shout out to Brielle Bartle. She's really up their game additionally, and she's important with the passing, 5 assists leading team, and added 11 points. So nice all around night for Brielle. On top of that, and she's really started to find it. Got to see her after the game, the last home match that they won, and got to meet her family as well. So that's kind of cool. after that game. And, I think she's really a
I've
huge.
met both their parents now this season.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
It's awesome. Yeah. Especially like, these players, obviously Brielle's from up there in Minnesota. So she's,
Minnesota.
so she's had to travel a long way, but to Prima a little bit closer from Savannah or around there from Georgia, I believe.
Savannah.
Yeah, Savannah. So
Calvary
I
Day.
didn't have to go too far, and kind of cool that you were able to see some of these players, play at high school and then come over here to USCB, especially someone like Calvary Day. We talked about them, rivaling Hilton. Like, they play a lot of good ones against Hilton at Christian Academy and those great HHGA teams over the years.
Yeah, it was fun to watch Primo go after it with her old high school teammate Hannah Kale from Georgia College. That was fun.
But for my guy, I mean, Jason Pritchie, unbelievable. Not just leading the way in points, and you certainly have a case for a couple of others at Hilton Prep team, but I'm sure he was important defensively. Obviously, we don't see the whole stat sheet, but certainly may have had some blocks in there and just created some misses, protecting the rim. So he has been the guy seamlessly replacing. Well, Cusano's more of a versatile guy, and obviously there's a debate to be had on who was the more complete. I still think Cusano's a little higher tier than Britchie, but Britchie has been everything they needed this year, and certainly has done all they could ask for in terms of replacing that role that Cusano had in 2023. So, man, just we saw a preview last year, but it is all come to fruition this winter for Jason Britchie. So, man, he's been the rock of this team, and that's going to be once again needed against the Myrtle Beach team that has some explosiveness out there. So they're going to need another strong game near the rim for Jason Britchie. He's a matchup problem for anybody he's gone against in the Skeeza ranks this season. So, if we got some more from Bluffton, I would definitely shout the lacrosse team. Should definitely shout that out. But I'm sure there are others that are still on the board for you.
Yeah, we usually don't get lacrosse stats till next day. It's usually a little slow to get those. But yeah, there's definitely going to be some Bluffton people, but there's plenty of people on the board for me. Girls, in fact, I'm going to keep all my love in the kids from Estill tonight. Maya Hutchinson, Maya from the E. She plays at Hilton Christian Academy, but she's from Estill. That's where she started. She won a state championship there in 2017, I think, when she was in like 5th grade or something. No, I don't think she was on that team really, but she played there when she was in like 8th grade. And she, I think, scored 1,000 points there before she came to Hilton Christian, if I'm not mistaken.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is insane. She's phenomenal. And she's just on another level at times. And when she, like, her athleticism, her ability to score from anywhere, like she throws up some stuff that you're just like, what, how's that go in? She can get whatever she wants whenever she wants it. And she went viral, this summer, and like, she's that kind of kid. She's just got crazy skills. And when she decides to turn it on, it's pretty hard to stop. And, I think between her and Devin, JP2 just has such a hard time staying in front of them. They can beat them, but they're going to have to really rely on help defense inside and, try to deny them.
It's just hard to silence both of them.
But it's so hard.
It's so hard.
They work off of each other. They know each other so well because they play together year round. They're phenomenal. But I'm giving love to Maya because we've shown Devin a ton of love lately, well deserved. But I just want to make sure that Maya gets some as well. And then my boy from Estill, Kayvon Chisholm, has been just unstoppable in the playoffs, and he didn't even feel well the other night against AJ, and he had 22 and 11 in the playoffs. He had 18 and 8 against Lake Marion. Didn't even play that much because they were blowing him out. 26 and 15 against Mullins, and 22 and 11 against AJ. He also had 5 blocks against Lake Marion. When they make an effort to get it to him, when they decide it's going to him this trip, they can't stop it. They can't stop him. He's unbelievable. And it's not his best sport. He's going to go play football at South Carolina State. And I truly believe he has NFL potential.
Oh, absolutely.
I've thought that since the first time I saw him last year at Estill. I was like, whoa, this guy physically is unreal. And then you get to know him and you see the work ethic and the motor, and also the personality and the gentleness and he's the whole package. And he is been really fun to watch and cover. And I'm excited for those guys on Saturday against Oceanside to get another shot at Goliath. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. It just, that was what they were hoping for. And you just know that Chisholm, that fire from letting that one slip away when they thought they had it after Zion had that incredible touchdown run in the second half, and you just thought it was all Oceanside from that point on to let one get away from him and now get another opportunity in a different sport. He is going to seize the opportunity. And, Oceanside, that's a great team. They're going to have to play a heck of a basketball game to beat him. But you just know that Kavon's going to get every ounce and do anything he can to propel Hampton County Hurricanes to try to shock them this time. So I can't wait for that one. But before we go, I did want to give one special shout out in losing effort, but Takoya Hayward left it all out there last night, and what a basketball game that was to close out legendary career, and it just tough to see it end the way it did. I mean, just heartbreaking to see that last foul and occurring with just a few seconds left to be the difference in the ball game, and certainly wouldn't have gotten there if Takoya hadn't made a couple of tremendous shots down the stretch, including that floater to tie it. But just a legendary career at Bluffton, 1,500 points, as you mentioned, and 5 years of outstanding basketball from someone who we've gotten to know really well, and just really always a pleasure to talk with her and interview her and watch her play.
Absolutely. I mean, she'll go down as one of the greats that from my career, as far as the kids that were the most rewarding to cover, and just the relationship that you build over the course of 5-6 years of getting to know somebody and watch them grow up. And you're wowed by them the first time you see them. Wow, she's so great. She's only in 8th grade. She's amazing. And then you look back and you're like, wow, she was a baby and she was still figuring it out. Like you look at her now and you're, oh wow. So just to see the progression and the process, and to again to know her as you watch that development, and now to see the young woman she's become, and the plan that she has in front of her, and to think about that she's going to someday be a defense attorney if all goes well. And it's just, I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, is watching these kids grow up and giving them a structure to be their best and learn life skills that they're going to take with them, and build confidence, and learn humility and teamwork, and then send them off into the world. Like that's why we love what we do. So yeah, it's heartbreaking that it ends like that, but the reality is that it ends like that for almost everybody. Like that's the way it goes. That's it's kind of the beauty of it. It's like it teaches us how to cope with the finality of everything, in a way, like that. It all ends at some time, but that's the beauty of it, because if it didn't mean so much, if it didn't hurt so bad, then it wouldn't mean so much when you're successful and when you win, and it wouldn't feel so good. So that's the way it is, man. But it was really, really fun to cover all those girls at Bluffton. And frankly, Lonnie Roberts was one of the first coaches I covered when I got here in 2005 too. So we've got a lot of history together. We got a lot of shared stories over the years and things. So I want to wish him well as well, because he's been a really good steward for that program, getting it going. And I think he leaves it, and obviously they got some rebuilding to do next year, but I think he leaves it in good hands.
I would agree. Been great to get to know him over these last few seasons, and just great coaching mind, and the way he's continued to develop this program and shaping it. He's left it in a great place, as they look to find someone who's going to have some big shoes to fill going forward. And you got Myra Brown back, so you have someone to build that group around. And we'll have to talk to Rob and see who's coming up from the pipeline. But I'm sure with what we said last night about how everything can be moving a bit in terms of all the parts that are going to be in movement throughout the off season, it could be an attractive spot for kids to potentially make their way to in the future. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. And just getting those couple of wins to get into that, next tier of, that Elite Eight to finish off the season, I think that means a lot as well going forward. So, with Amira, with her looking like she'll be the rock and centerpiece, and we could see some others join based on what happens, what shakes out these last 2 months. Certainly a lot of situations to keep an eye on into the basketball off season, but man, what a pleasure it's been to cover this Bluffton team and Robert's teams and Koya's teams these last 2 seasons. And just painful to see them the way it did once again, because they were close. And sometimes it just hurts even more when you're that close to getting it done.
Yeah, it does. I think the 1-point loss sometimes hurts a lot worse than the 18-point loss. I really do, because they know how close they were. They know if one more shot goes down, if they get one more stop on defense, like it's tough, because you can look back and probably point the thumb at yourself 4 or 5 times in the game and go, if only I had done this, we would have won that game. And you can't do that to yourself. But no, it's been awesome. And Koya is going to play. She's going to hoop at Claflin, and Maddie's signed to throw for the track team at Winthrop. And I don't know what Jelena's plans are yet, but she's gonna, I'm sure, be great at whatever she does wherever she goes. So certainly wish them well, and all the seniors that are in their careers. It's a tough thing. It's a day you knew it was going to come, but you're never prepared for it. And but you'll have a lot of great memories, and you learned a lot and grew up a lot along the way, and they'll never be able to take that from you. So we enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing what you do next, whatever it is. But I think that'll do it for tonight, Wes. Thanks so much to everybody who jumped on and listened to us or watched us tonight, as well as all of our sponsors for making it possible. We will plan to be on tomorrow night, I guess. Friday night, we usually do a show. So
state champion.
We got a state championship game to talk about, and quite a few other things. So we'll hop on tomorrow night, probably at 10 o'clock. We'll let you know if that changes. Keep an eye out. We'll be here. Just subscribe so you don't have to worry about it. You'll get a notification when we go live. That'll take care of it. But that'll do it for tonight. I'm Justin Jarrett. He's Wes Kerr. Thanks so much for joining us. And until next time, go Loco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go